Want to have your clip featured in the Skyrim Clip of the Week? Simply record the clip on your Xbox and then send it to me via message. My gamertag is iRyanI, that's IRYENI, and you can message it to me over Xbox and I'll be able to view it. I look forward to seeing the clips that you guys send me. Now moving on to the video. Hey, what's up guys, it's Ryan and welcome to another episode of Modded Monday. Today we're on week number 109, guys. We've been doing this series for quite a while and I've got 5 new mods that have just surfaced onto the mod page, so we're going to be downloading them and I'm going to be showcasing them for you. Coming in at our number 5 spot, we have the Playable Ebony Warrior race. Now the mod page reads, do you like to play as the mysterious warrior? Well, here he is. Ebony Warrior usually doesn't have a great story, so there's been one created for him. The Ebony Warrior went on to fight many great enemies, but he overcame them all. He dreamed of eventually going to Sovngarde, even though he wasn't a Nord, maybe to get some strings pulled in order to face some people in there, but he despaired because no one was powerful enough to give him an honorable death. Then he heard stories of an incredibly powerful person, you, the Dragonborn, who lived in Skyrim. He journeyed to Skyrim and he tracked this person down. He asked the last Dragonborn to face him and give him an honorable death, which he finally received. Now this mod actually allows you to play as the Ebony Warrior right off the bat, and he has a bunch of different skill bonuses and base stats, such as his one-handed skill is 25, along with his archery, block, and smithing, and then his conjuration is at 15, his heavy armor is at 30, and his restoration starts at 20. Some of his base stats include his health starting at 500, his magicka starting at 300, and his stamina starting at 600. He also has 1,000 carry weight and some really good starting spells like the real Ebony Warrior, such as Close Wounds, Iron Flesh, Frost Cloak, Conjure Storm Atronach, and Command Daedra. And you also can't forget to wear the Ebony armor along with this, and have the Ebony weapons as well, just to fit the character. Now if you guys have actually played Skyrim long enough in order to reach a high enough level to meet the Ebony Warrior, then this mod allows you to actually take his control and be able to play as him and have a story of your own in order to overcome all the most powerful enemies and eventually reach that honorable death that he's been seeking since the beginning. So that's definitely why this mod comes in at our number 5 spot, so I'd recommend downloading the Playable Ebony Warrior race. Coming in at our number 4 spot, we have the Automatic Item Storage mod. Now the mod page reads that this mod allows you to easily and dynamically add auto storage to any container in the game, and create your own custom storage list for each container and store exactly what you want. It's flexible and compatible with pretty much any house mod or any mod that adds new items into the game, and it's also designed to be easy and clean to uninstall and reinstall mid-playthrough or at any time you choose. The features of this mod include auto storage, which allows you to turn any container into an auto storage container quickly and easily, and then custom lists to go along with that and have auto storage for each of the item lists in your container, so you can store exactly what you want in each container without having to actually go into it. Now to keep it pretty brief in this mod, basically how the mod works is you'll walk up to this barrel here, as you can see that's what I did, and you have to add the fish that is spawned into your inventory right when you load up a save. You just put that fish into the barrel or any chest or any container that you want to use, and it'll make it an automatic storage container. And you'll be given a little bit of a tutorial whenever you put the fish into whatever storage container you're using, and it'll teach you how to use it from there. Basically, the gist of it is you could choose what items you want to store in there, and then next time you walk up, you don't actually have to open it. You could just double tap A or the activation button onto the chest, and it'll be able to actually store all the items that are in that chest from your inventory without you actually having to open the chest. Now, you also don't have to store every item in your item list into the chest. You can keep a certain amount of each and just store one of each into the item list itself, and you can also choose to take a specific amount of each item from your item list from the container. So for example, let's say I have some firewood in there and I have some iron ore. I have 20 iron ore and I have like 10 firewood, let's say I have in the chest, and I want to take 5 out of each. You could just double tap A or the activation button onto the container and you'll be able to take 5 out without actually having to open it up at all. I know since I store a lot of my items in my houses and stuff like that, that I'll definitely be using this mod because I save a lot of stuff in the game and it just gets a little cluttered from time to time whenever I go through my chests and stuff like that. So downloading this mod is definitely going to keep me more organized, and it's going to be a lot faster going around and actually keeping all my stuff right where I need it. So that's definitely why this mod comes in at our number 4 spot, so I'd recommend downloading the Automatic Item Storage mod. Coming in at our number 3 spot, we have the Blackened steel armor and weapon set. Now this mod sits at 68.71 megabytes, and it adds one of the most badass heavy armors that I've seen in the game. Working for both male and female, it's craftable under the steel section and requires the advanced armors perk to improve, like the steel plate armor. And when improving the weapons and armor, there's no additional materials that are required because you wouldn't really have to in real life. The armor is equal to Ebony, and the weapon is way better than Daedric and faster with better reach. It's not hugely OP, but its functionality is much better designed with a high-end sword, and it's a little better statistically. This whole set includes the armor, the gauntlets, the boots, the hood, the cowl, which is the hood and cape, along with a spadone, which is a great sword. Now this armor set looks absolutely amazing, and like I said, I do believe it's one of the best looking heavy armors that I've ever seen in a mod, so I'm definitely going to keep this mod installed because I know that whenever I reach endgame on my save, wherever I'm going into and actually crafting Daedric and Dragonbone and other armors like that, I'm going to be able to add this one to my collection and look amazing while doing so that's why it comes in at our number 3 spot, so I'd strongly recommend downloading the Blackened steel armor and weapon set mod. Coming in at our number 2 spot, we have Hunterborn SSE. Now this mod is by far the biggest overhaul of hunting that I've ever seen in Skyrim. Now Hunterborn changes the simple routine of kill and loot on animals into something a little more immersive. This mod has its own realistic wildlife loot, and it wants to be more in-depth for the actual process of dressing down a kill, skinning it for its pelt, taking the material from it for alchemy, and finally butchering its meat, based on the animal's weight, not just a single cut of venison. Now the most significant change that Hunterborn makes to the game is taking away the loot window from most wildlife. Instead, you'll choose whether to dress it, which means cleaning the carcass and preparing it for processing where it lies, or you can pick up the carcass and take it back to your camp, lair, or the nearest vendor. When you drop the carcass from your inventory, the original animal's body will appear at your feet, where again you have a choice to dress it or pick it back up. After dressing a carcass, you're able to skin it, harvest it for ingredients like antlers, eyes, teeth, and even hearts, and butcher it for its meat. There's also field dressing, which is the first step in rendering down the animal's goods to dress or clean the carcass. This is the simple process that eliminates the most common causes of meat spoilage. Next, we move on to being able to skin it. Now, after actually dressing the carcass, the next step is to skin it. Then you move on to harvesting, which, besides the pelt and the meat from the carcass, all animals will have more valuable materials that you can harvest from them. Most of these materials are alchemy ingredients, and Hunterborn adds many new custom ingredients for you to harvest in the creation of potions and poisons, and the effects on these custom ingredients have been designed to be specially useful for hunter playstyles. Moving on to the butchering aspect, the Hunterborn adds new custom meat types for all of the hunting game in Skyrim, and even for monstrous creatures like dragons, if you have the Monster Hunter enabled, elk will have a distinct kind of venison, foxes will have their own meat, and now even mud crabs and slaughterfish can be a source of sustenance. Now when you first get started, Hunterborn assumes that you're a novice hunter with no experience, so the first time you field dress a carcass, it will take a lot of time, especially if it's a larger carcass. You'll get faster at dressing, skinning, and harvesting every single time you complete the action, and you'll get better, more higher quality goods as you keep doing this over and over again. And then you can also turn on the hunting knife requirement, which allows you to craft hunting knives at the smithing stations and actually use them for hunting and skinning later on. Now it is recommended for the load order to place this into single area edits, and I couldn't actually cover everything that this mod does because it's just so huge of a mod, but it is only 64.79 megabytes, so if you are looking for something to overhaul the way that you hunt in the game and add a little bit more immersion into your game, then this is definitely the mod for you. So that's definitely why it comes in at our number 2 spot, so I'd strongly recommend downloading the Hunterborn SSE mod. Coming in at our number 1 spot, we have Vindsvept, music for Skyrim. Now, this mod adds some fantastic music for Skyrim. It's a whole compilation featuring 3 hours of unique, lore-friendly, immersive, and fantasy music. Now, instead of talking about the mod, I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of a listen for yourself. So I'm going to walk around Whiterun a little bit and have you guys enjoy the immersive soundtrack of Vindsvept.
But we can't afford it.
It took me weeks to find out he was dead. I can't stop him. I can't get the sword on my own.
Embrace the word of mighty Talos. He who is both man and divine.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like that soundtrack is absolutely amazing, and that's just one of the many 3 hours of soundtracks that they have into the game. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, I had an entire load order set up for myself where I couldn't download any more mods, but once I stumbled across this one, I just had to clear out some in order to make space. I had to delete some of the mods that I had on my character previously in order to fit this 345 megabyte soundtrack in, because it is just that amazing. And that's definitely why this mod comes in at our #1 spot, so I would strongly recommend downloading the Vindsvept Music for Skyrim mod. So that's pretty much it for this week's episode of the top 5 Skyrim mods of the week. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and if you did, I would appreciate it if you left a like and subscribe if you're new. It really helps me out a lot. And if you have any suggestions for mods you'd like me to cover in future top 5 mod episodes, be sure to let me know in the comment section below, or you can follow me on Twitter. I'll be sure to leave my Twitter in the description, and you guys can follow me on there and leave me suggestions through there as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I will talk to you guys later.